Hi, this is Jacob Ovadia. We'll be studying the fourth chapter of Hilkhot Torah. And this chapter speaks about teaching students and some of the protocols and decorum of the classroom setting when teaching Torah. פרק רביעי, הלכה א'. אין מלמדים דברי תורה, אלא לתלמיד הגון, נאה במעשיו, או לתם. We do not teach, a person should not teach the words of Torah unless he's teaching them to a student who is fit and who has proper actions or actions that are indifferent. However, if an individual was going on the wrong path and his actions were not proper, מחזירין אותו למוטב ומנהיגין אותו בדרך ישרה ובודקין אותו. ואחר כך מכניסין אותו לבית המדרש ומלמדין אותו. If a person was not fit to sit in the Beit HaMidrash, first we work on his actions and bring him back to the good path, and we check him and make sure that his actions are fit for an individual who's ready to study Torah, and we check him, and only then do we bring him into the Beit HaMidrash to teach him. And it's possible that just by the sequence of the halachot, by Rambam having Hilkhot De'ot before Talmud Torah, he alluded to this idea, the fact that an individual must first behave properly, and only then can he study Torah. אמרו חכמים, כל השונה לתלמיד שאינו הגון, כאילו זרק אבן למרקוליס, שנאמר כי צרור אבן במרגמה, כן נותן לכסיל כבוד. The sages said that anyone who teaches to a student who is not fit to study, it's as if he threw a rock to the Merkolis. Now, in Masechet Avodah Zarah, the Gemara tells us that there was a Roman god by the name of Merkolis, and the way to worship it was that the people who would worship would throw rocks at it. By the way, this Merkolis was the god of merchants and wealth. And the word miércoles in Spanish means Wednesday. Miércoles, miércoles, almost the same thing. Like someone who has a stone in a sling, it's as if it's a metaphor for an individual who gives honor to a fool and teaches Torah to an individual that isn't fit to study. Ve'en kavod ela Torah. And kavod, the only true honor, is Torah. Shene'emar kavod chachamim inchalu. It says in Sefer Mishle, the honor of sages, the sages will inherit honor. V'chen harav, halacha bet. V'chen harav she'eno holech bederech tova. Similarly, a teacher who is not on the right path, אף על פי שחכם גדול הוא, וכל העם צריכין לו, אין מתלמדין ממנו עד שיחזור למוטב. שנאמר כי שפתי כהן ישמרו דעת ותורה יבקשו מפיהם כי מלאך אדוני צבאות הוא. Similarly, a sage whose actions are not proper and he is not on the right path, despite the fact that he's a great sage and the entire nation needs him, a person should not go and study from him until he is on the correct path in terms of actions. As it says, as the lips of a priest keep wise words, and Torah, people should ask from him, as he is the angel or messenger of God. Amru chachamim, im domeh harav lemalach Adonai tzevaot, Torah yevakeshu mipihu. Ve'im lav, al yevakeshu Torah mipihu. The sages said, if the master is similar to a messenger of God, so then go and ask and request Torah from him. However, if not, do not go and study from this individual. In the comparison to a mal'ach, it's implied that Harambam is referring to proper actions and doing what the Torah instructed in terms of behavior. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the protocols in classroom setting when studying Torah. And this was the protocol for hundreds and thousands of years, dating back from the times of the Mishnah and the Talmud. Halacha Gimel. Ketzad melammedin. What is the proper way? How should a person teach? Harav yoshev barosh, v'talmidim lefanav, mukafim atara. The master, teacher, sits at the front, and the students are in front of him, sitting all around him, sitting encircling him. And atara is a crown, so in a circular way. Sitting, everyone was sitting around him so that everyone can see the teacher and listen to what he says. And the teacher should not sit on a chair and the students sitting on the floor. Ella o hakol al haaretz o hakol al kisot. Rather, everyone should either be sitting on the floor or everyone should be sitting on chairs. And it's a little bit indicative of the fact that in order for students to be receptive to the teacher, in order for the teacher to teach in a proper way, there should be a type of horizontality to the method of teaching, and not having the student on a categorically lower level than the teacher, or having the teacher on a categorical higher level than the student. Rather, everyone should be on the same plane. And it's representative of the fact that Harambam is teaching us that the student and teacher should all be either on the floor or sitting on chairs. וברishona, היה הרב יושב והתלמידים עומדים. מקודם חורבן בית שני, נהגו הכל ללמד התלמידים והם יושבים. However, initially, the teacher would sit and the students would stand, obviously out of respect. However, a little bit before the destruction of the Second Temple, it became a practice that everyone would teach the students, and the students would be sitting as well. Im haya harav melamed mipiv latalmidim melamed. If the teacher would teach from his own mouth directly to the students, then he would teach. Ve'im haya melamed al yedei metargem. However, if he would teach, and there would be a translator assisting him. Now, this translator would not be from language to language. Rather, the teacher would say a sentence or say a few thoughts to the this miturgeman, and then the miturgeman would repeat it exactly how he heard it, and we're going to see that in the next couple of halachot. Repeat it exactly how he heard it, and it would be just to as a projection for the teacher. The teacher would not want to raise his voice too much, and the translator, Miturgeman, would teach it and say it to the students exactly how he heard it. המתרגם עומד בינו ובין התלמידים, והרב אומר למתרגם, והמתרגם משמיע לכל התלמידים. And if the teacher was teaching with the assistance of a mitargem, the mitargem would stand between him and between the students. The teacher would tell whatever he wanted to the mitargem, and then the mitargem would say it out loud to all of the students. וכשהם שואלים למתרגם, הוא שואל לרב. והרב משיב למתרגם, והמתרגם משיב לשואל. And if the students ask the question, they would typically ask it to the mitargem. The mitargem would ask the teacher would answer back to the mitargem, and the mitargem would say the answer to the person asking. ולא יגביה הרב קולו יותר מכל המתרגם. לא יגביה המתרגם קולו בעת ששואל את הרב יותר מכל הרב. A teacher should not raise his voice higher than the voice of the mitargem, and the mitargem should not raise his voice higher than the teacher when he asks the teacher. He should not raise his voice higher than the teacher. Again, it's to keep a proper decorum in the Beit HaMidrash and proper respect for the Torah. הלכה ה' אין המתרגם רשאי לא לפחות ולא להוסיף ולא לשנות. A mitargem is not allowed to change, to add or subtract rather, or change anything that his master, his teacher said. It must be verbatim, and the exact words that the teacher said must be transmitted to the students. אלא אם כן היה התורגמן אביו של החכם או רבו. Unless the meturgeman was the son of a sage or the sage's teacher. Unless the meturgeman was the father of the teacher or the sage of the teacher or the master of the teacher. Amar harav l'turgeman kach amar li rabbi or kach amar li abba mare. If the teacher told the meturgeman, so and so said my master, or so and so said my father, my teacher, כשאומר התורגמן הדברים לעם, אומרן בשם החכם, ומזכיר שמו של אבי הרב או של רבו. The meturgeman, when he would say this to the nation, to the rest of the people, he would say it in the name of that sage, and he would say the name of the father of the teacher or his teacher, because typically it would not be proper to call the sage or an individual's father by their name. It's actually prohibited according to halakha. We're going to see those in Hilkhot Mamrim and in the continuation of Hilkhot Talmud Torah. אומרם בשם החכם ומזכיר שמו של אבי הרב או של רבו, and he says their name, the meturgeman says their name. ואומר כך אמר רבנה פלוני, this is what Rabbi X said. אף על פי שלא הזכיר החכם שמו, שאסור לו לקרוא לרבו או לאביו בשמו. As it is, even though the teacher did not mention the name explicitly, as it is prohibited for the master or for a son to call their teacher or their father by their name. הלכה ו' הרב שלימד ולא הבינו התלמידים לא יכעוס עליהם וירגז. The teacher that taught his students, but the students didn't understand, he should not get angry or get upset or agitated. אלא חוזר ושונה הדבר אפילו כמה פעמים. Rather, he should repeat the subject or the topic or whatever the students are having difficulty multiple times. עד שיבינו עומק ההלכה, until they realize the depth of the halakha, of the law. וכן, לא יאמר התלמיד הבנתי, והוא לא הבין. Similarly, a student should not say, I understood, unless he truly understood. אלא חוזר ושואל אפילו כמה פעמים. And if he didn't understand, he should repeat and ask multiple times. ואם כעס עליו רבו ורגז, however, if the teacher got agitated at the student and got angry, יאמר לו, רבי, תורה היא, וללמוד אני צריך, ודעתי קצרה. He should tell his teacher, master, it is Torah, and I must learn it, and my intellect is limited, and I didn't understand what you said. הלכה ז' לא יהיה התלמיד בוש מחבריו שלמדו מפעם ראשונה או שנייה. A student should not be embarrassed from his friends or his colleagues that learned after once or twice, or one time of teaching or twice, two times of teaching. והוא לא למד אלא אחר כמה פעמים, and he only learned after multiple times of the teacher repeating. Because if he is embarrassed from this, this individual is walking in and out of the study hall of the Bet Midrash, and he isn't learning anything. As a result, therefore, the early sages said, "En habayshan lamed v'lo hakabdan melamed." The student who is shy or embarrassed does not really learn and does not really gain any substance. Because if he doesn't understand something, he'll never ask. V'lo hakabdan melamed, and not the individual who is agitated, a true teacher. Because if he gets agitated after one of his students then doesn't understand something once or twice, he really won't be able to give over the Torah in a proper way. במה דברים אמורים? בזמן שלא הבינו התלמידים את הדבר מפני עומקו, או מפני דעתן שהיא קצרה. When is this said that a teacher should not get upset at the students or repeat it multiple times in a situation that the students didn't understand the subject at hand because of its depth or because of their limited intellect? אבל אם ניכר לרב שהן מתרשלים בדברי תורה ומתרפים עליהם ולפיכך לא הבינו. However, if it occurred to the teacher that the students are lazy in the words of Torah and are weak, and the words of Torah are weak on them, and that's the reason why they didn't understand what he taught them, חייב לרגוז עליהן ולהחלימם בדברים. He must get upset over them and to rebuke them כדי לחדדן, in order to sharpen them. ועניין זה אמרו חכמים, and on this specifically the sages taught, זרוק מראה בתלמידים, throw reverence onto the students in order for them to revere the teacher and the Torah that he is teaching them. החטט. לפיכך אין ראוי לרב לנהוג קלות ראש בפני התלמידים. Therefore, it is not proper for a teacher to have a joking mindset in front of the students, and not to joke around in front of them, clown around, and not to eat or drink with them, in order for the students to have reverence towards him, and they'll learn from him quickly. When an individual has students and he is with them in a setting that he is joking around and he's not serious, the students won't take him seriously when he's trying to teach them Torah. So Chachamim wanted to take the utmost measures in order for the students to be receptive to their teacher, and in order for the teacher not to have a bad impression in front of the students. Halacha Yod. En shalin et harav k'shikanes levet hamidrash. It's not proper for someone to ask his master something at the moment that he steps into the study hall. Until he sits, gets settled, and his mind is rested upon him. And the student shouldn't ask the moment he enters the study hall, until he sits and until he rests. And two students should not ask in regards to one topic. And it's not proper to ask the teacher on a different or random topic. Rather, a person should ask in regards to a topic that is at hand, that the teacher is teaching, in order for him not to be embarrassed, in order for the teacher not to be embarrassed. And because that we do have extremely high regard for our teachers and our masters, if it's possible that a teacher hasn't looked at a certain topic or material and a long time, and he might get embarrassed when a student asks him about a very specific and detailed question, and the teacher may not know the answer to the question. ויש לרב להטעות התלמידים בשאלותיו ובמעשים שעושה בפניהם. And the teacher reserves the right to confuse the students with questions and with different things that he does before them. כדי לחדדן וכדי שידע אם זוכרין הן מה שלמדן או אינן זוכרין. In order to sharpen them, and in order for him to know that they absorb the information that he taught them, or if they don't remember what he taught them. ואין צריך לומר שיש לו רשות לשאול אותן בעניין אחר שהן אינן עוסקים בו, כדי לזרזן. Additionally, the teacher reserves the right to ask the students about different topics that in addition to the topic that isn't at hand, in order to keep the students on their toes and to teach them to remember everything that he taught them. Halakha Yod Aleph. En sho'alin me'omed. It's not proper to ask a question standing up. En meshivin me'omed. And it's not proper to answer standing up. V'lo migavoa, v'lo merachok, v'lo me'achorei hazekenim. And not from, if one of the parties are on a platform or higher than the other, and a person shouldn't ask from a distance, and not from behind the elders. ואין שואלין את הרב אלא בעניין. And ואין שואלין אלא מיראה, לא ישאל בעניין יותר משלוש הלכות. And we don't ask the teacher except for a certain topic. And if a person is approaching a teacher, you shouldn't ask in regards to 3 or 4 different topics. Rather, you should only ask about one subject or one topic. And the student should only ask if it's coming from a place of reverence. He should revere his teacher. He should not ask about a specific subject more than 3 detailed questions or laws. Halakha Yod Bet. Shnaim sheshalu. There are 2 students that asked 2 different questions. Sha'al echad ba'inyan, v'sha'al echad shelo ba'inyan. One student asked in regards to the topic that was at hand, and one student asked in regards to a topic that was not the subject that was at hand or that the students and the teacher were dealing with. Nizkakin inyan. This teacher answers the first student who asked about the subject at hand. Ma'aseh v'she'eno ma'aseh. Nizkakin la'ma'aseh. If the 2 students, again, one student asked in regards to a practical application of law, and one student asked in regards to a theory of law, this teacher answers the question of practical application of the law. Halakha umidrash, niskakin lahalakha, a law or concrete law, and a story or a teaching. The teacher answers the concrete law. Midrash v'haggadah, a one second. If we're talking in regards to, if one student asks in regards to homiletics, and one student asked in regards to legend or agada, haggadah and agada are the same thing. Nizkakin lamidrash. The teacher answers the homiletic question. Haggadah v'kal v'chomer, a legend or a kal v'chomer. And kal v'chomer is one of the 13 ways the Chachamim would teach and would extract something from the Torah in order to teach a Torah Shebe'al Peh. Kal v'chomer, an example of Kal v'chomer would be the prohibition of having relations with a individual's daughter, as the Torah only prohibited the relations with a granddaughter. So the Chachamim taught through Kal v'chomer, just as an individual is prohibited from having relations with his granddaughter, so too, obviously, how much more so with his daughter. Niskakin lakal v'chomer. So agada v'kal v'chomer, niskakin lakal v'chomer. This teacher should answer the question of the kal v'chomer first. Kal v'chomer v'gezerah shava, niskakin lakal v'chomer. If there was a question of a kal v'chomer or a gezerah shava, niskakin lakal v'chomer, the teacher should answer the kal v'chomer first. And gezerah shava is another method of hermeneutics, and an example of gezerah shava is the application of one law to another, of a certain element of one law to another law, based on the same word. So, for example, in Masechet Kiddushin, the sages taught that an individual can marry a woman by giving her money, by acquiring her, because the pasuk says ki yikach ish isha, and the word yikach was also used when Abraham acquired the field from Hebron, as it says kesef hasadeh kach mimeni, with Ephron. So because both words were used both with acquiring a wife and acquiring a land with money, so an individual can acquire a woman with money. And in the case that two students asked about a kal v'chomer and a gezerah shava, the kal v'chomer is answered first. And the theme of this halakha was that the priorities are the most concrete to the least concrete. And we stick to the most concrete topic at hand. Halakha Yod Gimel. Hayu sho'alin echad chacham ve'echad talmid izkakin le'chacham. If the two people asking questions, one was a sage and one was a student, answer the sage. Tamid am haaretz nizkakin tamid. A student and an uneducated person, the student should be answered first. Shnehem chachamim, shnehem talmidin, shnehem am haaretz. שאלו שניהן בשתי הלכות ובשתי שאלות שתי תשובות שני מעשים, הרשות ביד המתרגם מעתה. If both were sages, or both were students, or both were uneducated, and both asked two questions of law, or two different questions, two questions, or two answers, or two practical application questions, the choice is in the hand of the metargem, and he chooses who the teacher answers first. Halakha Yodalet, last halakha. En yeshanin bevet midrash. It is improper the person is prohibited from sleeping in the study hall. And anyone who dozes off in the bet midrash, his wisdom is made into tears. As Shlomo said with his great wisdom, drowsiness clothes someone with rags. And the person should not converse in the Bet Midrash unless it is the words of Torah, solely the words of Torah. And even if a person sneezes, it's prohibited to say bless you in the Bet Midrash. How much more so for other different things that a person would say. If we don't say bless you to an individual, obviously we shouldn't be saying other things. קדושת בית המדרש חמורה מקדושת בתי כנסיות. And the sanctity, or the distinctiveness in the study hall is more than that of a Bet Knesset, or a synagogue. Because in the Bet Midrash, the words of Torah are being taught. And Torah, as we learned in the previous chapter, is weighed in contrast to all of the other mitzvot.